Welcome to the continuous constitutional discussion on Court Helicopter News. You have now known why we are doing this, because Raila Odinga and Kibaki read. Now, it is Court Helicopter to read for you and bring it raw as it is. We look at the cabinet. Many think it's a cabinet for keeping, it's called a shelf. No, the cabinet is different. We talked about the national executive. The national executive, as we said, is the president, deputy president, and the cabinet. We have dealt with the cabinet, the president, and the deputy. Today, we are dealing with the cabinet. Who is the cabinet? Article 152 provides that the cabinet shall consist of 1. The president, 2. The deputy president, 3. The attorney general, 4. Not fewer than 14 and not more than 22 cabinet secretaries. Do you know the Constitution says the president, cabinet cannot be fewer than 14 and it cannot be more than 22 cabinet members. The president at one time, during Kibaki's time in 2007, when there was a post-election violence, and Raila Odinga joined the Grand Coalition, there were 48 cabinet ministers. Under Uhuru, there was the government, the national Serikali ya Nusu Mkate. So the question now, Kenyans have put cabinet can only be 14 to 22, not more than that. 2, the president shall nominate and with the approval of the National Assembly appoint cabinet secretaries. The president nominates. The names must go to parliament for approval. Once they have been vetted at parliament, the president appoints them. 3, a cabinet secretary shall not be a member of parliament. You saw, for example, when Ruku, the minister for public service, was a member of parliament. When my client, Opiyo Wandayi, the member of parliament for a region in Nyanza, when Mbadi, a nominated member of parliament, they resigned. So you can never be a member of parliament and be a cabinet minister. 3rd, each person appointed as a cabinet secretary A assumes office by swearing or affirming the faithfulness to the people and the Republic of Kenya and obedience to this constitution before the president. Remember, previously, the oath of office cabinet secretaries were swearing allegiance to the president. Under this constitution, listen, the oath of office they are taking. The oath of office is allegiance to the people, affirming faithfulness to the people, and 2, to the Republic of Kenya, and the obedience to the constitution. Cabinet secretaries don't swear allegiance to the president. Under the old constitution, cabinet secretaries, that time they were called ministers, they were serving at the pleasure of the president. Today, nobody takes an oath in allegiance to the president. You take an allegiance to be faithful to the people and also to defend and be faithful to the constitution. 2, the cabinet secretaries may resign by delivering a written statement of resignation to the president. Cabinet ministers cannot resign in parliament. Cabinet ministers cannot resign in a funeral. They must write to the president, and the president must accept that resignation. It is the president who appointed them, so they is their employer. They must resign in writing. The president, and this is what people ask, today the president has this minister here, the president tomorrow transfers that. Under which power is this? Under Article 145, sub-article 5, the president may reassign a cabinet secretary. The president can change you from this place to this place. Number 2, the president may dismiss a cabinet secretary. The president has power to dismiss a cabinet secretary. He does not need to ask permission from anybody. 3, the president shall dismiss a cabinet secretary if required to do so by a resolution adopted under clause 6 to 10. Then he moves on to say, a member of the National Assembly, supported by at least 1/4 of all members of the Assembly, may propose a motion requiring the president to dismiss a cabinet secretary. If a cabinet secretary misbehaves, Parliament can vote, and if it votes by resolution the cabinet secretary to be dismissed, the Speaker will deliver that to the president, and the president shall dismiss a cabinet minister. So, a cabinet minister can be sacked by the president. A motion in Parliament, if it is voted for, and the resolution is presented to the president, the cabinet secretary will be sacked. So there are 2 ways to sack a cabinet minister. Through Parliament. Parliament by its own motion can recommend for his sacking. A petition by a person, you, a member who follows court helicopter, you can file a memorandum that you want a minister to be sacked to Parliament. If the Parliament debates that motion and approves it and sends to the president, that cabinet minister can be sacked. So Parliament has a lot of powers on how to control. Then, how does cabinet make decisions? Remember, we hear cabinet resolution. We hear the government has decided, cabinet has approved selling of Safaricom. We hear cabinet has approved demolition of the houses. We hear cabinet has resolved affordable housing. How does cabinet make, do they sit and how do they make resolutions? Article 153, a decision by cabinet shall be in writing. A decision of cabinet shall be in writing. 2, the cabinet secretaries are accountable individually and collectively to the president. The president, when you are a cabinet, you are responsible and individually and collectively. So you cannot start distancing yourself from cabinet resolution. Once cabinet has passed a decision, whether you voted against it, you are bound by that decision. So you understand why J.B. Muturi was removed off from his position, because he dissented on a cabinet resolution. The Attorney General is a member of cabinet, and any decision passed by cabinet binds every person in cabinet. Then the cabinet secretaries are mandated to appear in Parliament to provide full and regular reports concerning matters under their control. So the powers you see Parliament calling cabinet secretaries to Parliament is provided for in Article 153. In the cabinet, there is a position called the secretary to the cabinet. The secretary to the cabinet is the person who shall be nominated and approved by the National Assembly. And his functions are to run the office of the cabinet, and that is the secretary to the cabinet. Under the cabinet, mawaziri, we have what is called the permanent secretaries. makatibu wa kudumu. Article 155 provides for the offices of Principal Secretary. Each state department shall be under a Principal Secretary. These Principal Secretaries are nominated. These are public officers. A position of a Principal Secretary is advertised by the Public Service Commission. You apply. You are shortlisted. You go for interview. You pass. The names are forwarded to the president for people who have passed these positions. The president has an option to nominate from that list. Nobody will be a Principal Secretary without that process. It is a competitive recruitment. It is different from Cabinet Secretaries. Cabinet Secretaries are presidential nominees. Principal Secretaries are employees of the Public Service Commission. They apply, they are shortlisted, the president nominates, the names go to Parliament for vetting. And once they are vetted, they are given the job. The president can reassign a Principal Secretary from office to office. The president can also reassign them from one place to another place. They must go to Parliament for approval before they are appointed as Principal Secretaries. They are the principal accounting officers of the ministry. They are in charge of the funds and all the employees in every ministry or department. We have the office of the Attorney General. Still, this is a member of Cabinet. The office of the Attorney General shall be nominated by the President and with the approval of the National Assembly be appointed by the President. It is the President who nominates the Attorney General. The Attorney General name must go to Parliament. If approved, then one is appointed as an Attorney General. The appointment of Attorney General are the same as that of a Chief Justice. He must have practiced law for over 15 years. You cannot be an Attorney General if you have not practiced law as an advocate, as a judge, as a law lecturer, or as an in-house counsel for more than 15 years. Then you can qualify to be an Attorney General. The qualifications are similar to that of a Chief Justice. The functions of the Attorney General are: he is the principal legal advisor of government. Any document signed by the President, the Attorney General must give an opinion. Any contract Kenya enters must pass through the Attorney General's office. Anytime anybody is suing government, whether you want to sue the President, you want to sue the Attorney General, you want to sue the police, you want to sue anybody, you sue the Attorney General. The Attorney General represents all government offices. He is the chief legal advisor to the government. The Attorney General office is not a one-man office. It is called the State Law Office. The Attorney General is assisted by the Solicitor General. The Solicitor General is the accounting officer of the office of the Attorney General. So, 2, he represents the national government in court or in any other legal proceedings to which the national government is party other than criminal proceedings. The Attorney General represents government in only civil matters. In criminal proceedings, when we shall be dealing with Article 157, we have an office called the Director of Public Prosecution, who represents government in criminal matters. 2, And lastly, the Attorney General shall have authority, with the leave of the court, to appear as a friend of the court in any civil proceedings to which the government is not a party. So the Attorney General, we talked about him being an amicus curiae. He can appear in any matter to assist the court in making a decision. The Attorney General exercises the power of the state, and he is the custodian of the seal of the office of the Attorney General. That marks the end of what we have dealt with the national executive of the Republic of Kenya. Next, we are now going to independent offices. The Constitution has created independent offices. Wakili Danstan Omari, wishing you all the best. Merry Christmas and a fantastic Happy New Year 2026 from Court Helicopter News.